With the 2020 general election over, new questions are arising in the minds of New Mexicans. This is due to the newer, more progressive members that will join the legislative body in 2021, with the legislature being 27-15 in the Senate and 44-25-1 in the House, with both being controlled by Democrats. The idea that new regulations could come down on the New Mexico oil and gas industry is not impossible. Thus, I talked to Joseph A. Schreimer, professor of law and oil and gas professor at the University of New Mexico, about what the new legislative body could do.
Well, I don't know what to expect in terms of new changes. Before this election, the legislature and the sort of statewide offices, governor, state lands commissioner, they were largely controlled by Democratic candidates anyway.
Schreimer also said that
other important things that are changing, the state environmental department and the energy, minerals, and natural resources department. So that's two different state agencies. They are working together on state level air emissions limitations to impose on production in the state. That's going to look a lot like the VOCs and methane emissions limitations under the Obama administration EPA.
Finally, I asked Schreimer if New Mexico relies too heavily on the oil and gas industry.
Without reaching that question directly, I would say that it's hard to find a state that relies more on the oil and gas industry than New Mexico. And that's partly because New Mexico relies so heavily on its state-owned lands to generate revenue, and that's sort of a historical quirk about our statehood, I think, and also sort of an historical accident that, for various reasons having nothing to do with oil and gas, a bunch of our state-owned lands ended up sitting right on top of one of the world's largest oil and gas reserves. So we are extremely reliant, which makes it difficult to balance our, at least our current environmental ethic that I think is growing in the state with our rather precarious financial economic situation that does rest so squarely on the welfare of the oil and gas industry.